Hi, I'm Andrew from Luxe Walls. You might have already checked another video with my colleague Julia running through some tips. I'm going to come at this at a slightly different angle. I've just got off the phone with our head installer and I said, Ari, what are the 7 important things that you think will make your whole life easy when installing this paper yourself, the wallpaper yourself? And he gave me 7. I'm sure there's others, and by all means, don't take this as gospel. Don't take this as the way to do it or the way not to do it. These are just 7 tips that Ari, who's been doing this for many, many years, has told me. So number 1, visually check your floor and ceiling level and make sure, are we square, are we not square, and if we're out of whack, how much out of whack? For example, if your ceiling goes up slightly, then you need to leave a bit more up top when you're installing your first panel to allow for that change in height, and vice versa with below. Use a level if you can't tell by the eye. Use a spirit level on the floor and the ceiling, just see where you're at. Number 2, look at the wall. If there's any high points or there's any debris or bits built into the wall, clean it with the back of your Stanley knife or your knife or whatever you have. So it's really super smooth. Following on from that, and following on from what we've said before, it's all about preparation. So make sure you're cleaning all the dust and everything off the actual wall to keep it squeaky clean, easy to adhere. What we definitely recommend is to get all the prints, lay them out on the floor in order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. This will give you the chance to just make sure that it all fits in together. You can visualize how it's all going to go, make sure the patterns are right, etc., etc., and you've got the order right. I think that's a really important, and double check everything. A little tip that he gave me, which I never actually knew, is that when you've got it on the floor, you've got your overlap, and you're putting it together, is to put a bit of masking tape across the join of where you're sitting it, where it's overlapping, so you're measuring up and down and out and back. Trim the masking tape very gently, don't cut through the paper or on the paper even, and then when you take it away, start placing your panels, you've got a place to join. So you can line up on the masking tape. You've seen that it works on the floor, it's definitely going to work on the walls. It's a really good tip, that one. Another tip that he gave us is when trimming the edges, use a straight edge or your squidgy. If you've chosen to use a squidgy to get rid of bubbles or to put it on, if you do, by the way, make sure you cover it so you're not rubbing the actual print, is to trim with the hard edge. So you get it up against whatever edge, bottom, sides, etc., and trim and move with the hard edge. And lastly, and another great tip that's certainly a trap for beginners, is let gravity do the job. So when you're installing your first bit up on the wall, you've stuck it down and you're starting to peel back, don't be pulling down on the paper because it's just going to give you pulls and runs and angles and God knows what. Let gravity just let it fall and gradually pull things away. So it doesn't need to be under any extreme tension. That's about it. So that's Ari's 7 tips. We will continue to update this sort of information, and thanks for choosing us.